And let's make a quick mic check. And another one, quick mic check with new settings. And hello and welcome to Sandbox TV. Now I guess live. My name is Alex, and I guess let's just get right into the things. Yeah, so we will continue where we left off before. Let's just not forget to start a timer. Yes, this is usually the thing that I'm usually forgetting to do. So yeah, right now I actually didn't. So now we are going to stream with a timer, which is a good thing. Yes, so let's continue. So today I'm going to try to work on a side view. And it's definitely going to be a challenging thing. Because it's pretty easy to draw a profile head in a side view. But when it comes to figuring out these type of forms from this side view, like body, you need to think about weight distribution, proper balance, whatever. So a bunch of things that you need to think of while working with this. So it's definitely going to be a challenging thing. Yeah. Definitely going to be a challenging thing to do. And again, since in most cases we're going to see all these transformer statues from this side, we kinda need to work on the side. More than we probably worked on top and front and back. Why I always like getting mixed? Top and front, come on, why? Okay, so I guess let's just slowly pick our brain, get focused, and slowly start doing something. It's going to be pretty hard because I didn't sleep at all. Like I'm not even got to bed. Went to bed, so I'm kind of functioning in about like 24-hour straight. It's pretty hard. Kind of brain a little bit like shuts off sometimes. So I don't know how long this term will take. Yeah. So it all going to be depends on how my brain is going to function. If basically my brain is starting to along the stream just starting to shut down because of the lack of sleep, then we will probably finish, or at least we will make a quick break and then continue. Yeah, and also to make this a little bit easier to my brain, I kind of decided to go like right now with a creative stream. I will stream it whatever I can, or however I can in terms of hours. 1 hour, 2, 3, 4, how it's going to, I don't know, can't predict this. And then hour break, and then I will start MTG study right away. MTG study definitely is going to be a short one, like maybe an hour. Yeah, so I guess let's just try to focus on things and try to work with our side view. It's definitely going to be a hard thing because I previously tried to work on the side views, and usually it's pretty frustrating because for me, if something doesn't look right, of course I hate it. So, and usually when we're working with the side, it's crazy frustrating. I actually kind of wanted to show you one thing that I did like a long time ago. It's kind of a little bit similar to what we're doing. So give me a second, I will find it. By starting this way, I kind of wanted to turn my brain on work because get into work mode. Yeah, so give me a little bit of time. I need to remember what it is, the thing that I'm kind of looking for. So yeah, I kind of need to find a reference. Where are my projects? So yeah, somewhere here, then here. I remember it's in Fanart thing. in Marvel's superheroes, and Daredevil. Yeah. So yeah, if it's going to be horrible, never mind. But again, it was a long time ago. So yeah, basically what I wanted to show is this. So previously I worked on this. So basically this is a supposedly redesign of Daredevil. Yeah, I'm kind of a fan of the Daredevil, so and I kind of wanted to redesign it, redesign his costume, and this was my probably the first attempt to go with these type of stages that I'm going through now. And as you see, it's pretty hard to make these type of poses look good. They look strange, they look awful. So like, yes, maybe this top part looks like somewhat great, not great really, somewhat decent. Yeah, like this part may be acceptable, but when we are going like down, and the further down we go, like the worse it gets. And the problem about like the side view, it's actually pretty hard to maintain a good. Sorry, I was speaking. I can't. Yeah, the first problem that I did, of course, like at the beginning, I made too wide hips. It's not a man proportions. I draw it in a time that I don't even knew how to properly work with proportions at that time. So like when I did this, I definitely remember, I actually kind of thought to myself, no, this is too wide of a hips for a man, maybe for a woman, but man has to have less wide hips. So then I just basically changed a little bit. Yeah, so basically we see this design is pretty hard. First thing that kind of creates problems in a side view, of course, that we kind of need to separate our hand from our body, and we're not necessarily designing a hand from side. We actually, in most cases, don't even need to do that, because kind of most of the things usually just connected with each other. But the only reason why we need to establish this in order to just understand the size of the hand in terms of like the width of the hand and basic proportions. This is the only thing why we're doing it properly. And unless the side view is actually contains so much information that like front view or back view is just basically not enough. Yeah, so yeah, basically I did this design a long time ago, and that was pretty kind of bleh. Blee. Yeah, this type of design definitely wasn't something that worked out, because again, this was the last time that no, wait a minute. This thing is as far as I took this project. So I tried to depict Daredevil in particular pose. This pose is definitely not something that looks good, so I just basically decided, screw it. It's not worth it. Maybe later, when I'm kind of become much more confident in posing, maybe then I will get back to this again. So, and the problem was, I guess, I just didn't keep in mind any pose. I could redraw some type of poses that Daredevil usually takes from some type of different fan art or references or movies or series, which kinda, but again, it didn't seem right to me. I kind of wanted to figure out my own pose in terms of how I'm picturing Daredevil in my head. So I just basically didn't have the right mindset to it to continue to work on this thing. Yeah. But definitely in the future I would work on something similar, and I'm kind of interested in representing or redesigning something that already existed, because again, when you redesign something that already existed, for instance right now I'm basically redesigning the Transformers. Like, I'm not just taking things that they already have, I'm actually making something of my own, and this is a cool thing. This is actually what kind of helps you to grow, helps you to understand what design is, how design works, whatever. So these things are definitely something to look forward in your development. So yeah, let's just start work on something, or my brain just will go into the dark mode. Like literally dark mode. I'm just going to close my eyes and sleep during the stream. It's going to be very productive stream. I guess it's going to look like this. Okay, we're drawing this one, and for now it looks pretty good. Yeah, and then yeah, something like this. Like, I'm just went to sleep, and the rest of the stream is basically like half, I don't know, 6 at least hours. Definitely, I would not wake up. I would sleep like a deadman. I don't know how you probably say it. No, yeah. Let's just focus on things. Okay, right. So, before I kind of decided on, should I have to work on a side view though? Like, this is necessary, because I kind of don't want to work on a side view. It's hard to imagine. It's hard to properly place it. And my brain don't wants to work on a side view. But then I kind of thought to myself, nope. If we are going to put this thing in sculpting, I better work on the side view, because come on. I actually putting this on the other monitor in order to see like some type of an example how you would work with a side view, and to make it look a little bit better. And also, of course, I'm not just going to redraw it from what I show you, but actually I will try to make it better. And also, let's just open this thing in other program that allow us to mirror things, because it's not necessarily looking at the proper side that we need. Hello. Yeah, and then we're just using horizon mirroring and putting it on the other monitor. Okay. Good. So, by the way, let's not forget that we are working with these references that I gathered from online movie shots, basically from trailers or from just online movies. They are pretty bad quality, but still we are going to take a little bit of information from there in terms of how Transformers look from this side. That was intense, I guess. I need these bursts of craziness in order to stay sharp, because again, my brain will be quickly shuts down. The longer I get past 24 hours without sleep, the more chance that my brain is just basically shuts off or shuts down. So I need to sometimes refresh myself with this strange noises, so yeah. Okay, this is the closest thing to the side view that we have in our references. Oh no, what? Before, right here was actually a button that could go back, but now in new version they just basically took it back. So I guess I need to use escape for that. Escape. Okay, not something that can cool. Aww. This is not really a good thing that they just get rid of this button. Give us back this button. Back button. I guess it was somewhere here. Maybe it's hides? Maybe I just not seen it. Maybe I'm hallucinating because there's no button here, right? Like, you don't see it too? Nope. Okay. By the way, try to sleep. Yes. Oh no, I don't want to leave. Because functioning without a sleep, it's a bad thing. It's kind of puts your organism or puts your body in stress, and if it's not like necessary thing to do, you better not do it by choice. I did it some sort of like half. It was a necessary thing to do from one hand because I had a bunch of problems that I need to solve, and I just basically spent all the time all night solving them. Then like was the morning, and then in the morning I just like decided, yeah, I need to go and eat because I definitely want to eat. And then yeah, so one thing after another, and you can see the clock and realizes that, oh, I didn't sleep for 24 hours and Ken is streaming already in schedule, so let's just stream. Why not? Right away. Because if I will get to sleep, I definitely not going to stream, and this is not an option. I want to stream, so let's just go. So yeah, I kind of go through references right now while I'm mumbled or rumbled, whatever. Also, we need to remember that I'm having this thing on the other monitor with these references that I showed before that we are just using for, again, a bunch of things. So this one could solve a problem with the side view, or at least suggest things, work around with the side view. This somewhat could help us to depict pretty decent looking side view. So yeah, we have enough references, so this is a good thing that we have gone through these stages of reference gathering before. And funny thing, we still we're still not finished with them. Again, this is a pretty complex project, I think, at least for me, because this is a full illustration that has multiple characters in it, that pretty simple, yes, but they are with feathers, they are with interesting textures, and maybe they are simple, but the rest that surrounds them pretty complex. And this is actually one of the reasons why I'm actually chose to go with this idea after generator was basically after generated just generated this idea. I think to myself, oh, this is an awesome idea, and like intuitively right away, I'm not that big of a fan of Angry Birds. I just like the movie Angry Birds, the movie, That was a pretty cool movie. Not the best like of the movies, but like animated movies, but still pretty good. I like characters and like pretty interesting story, simple but pretty interesting story. And I'm kind of a fan of the Transformers, at least like I like the thrill from this thing, and I like how Transformers are like badass and they're just like it's basically for the sake of entertainment. Yeah, so like nothing deep about it, so just like the idea of the Transformers. And yeah, so I'm not like necessarily a fan, and one of the reasons, so what I'm kind of heading, one of the reasons why I'm actually choose to go with this project was basically because right away I saw like this awesome potential in contrasts. So we talked about contrast, which is like one of the main things of this main how do you properly say it? Main principles of design. One of the main principles of design that helps us differentiate things from each other and showcase them better, so like make them as focus. So for instance, the cool thing is almost all surroundings are complex. They are really complex. So all statues, as we see, they are pretty complex, at least compared to Angry Birds. Everything complex in here. And the cool thing about what I'm like imagining and picturing right away and planning towards is that I'm seeing everything around as a complex thing. Like these things complex, fantastic complex, everything around is actually complex. But the closer we go to our main focus and our secondary focus, the less complex it gets. So for instance, Angry Birds are not that complex at all. They're pretty simple. Table and table accessories, of course, they are pretty simple compared to our complexity right there. And it kind of creates an awesome contrast. The problem with this is to make this coherent and work together. And this is one of the challenges that I kind of set to myself, and this is the thing that I'm aiming for, and I'm actually want to try to do this. I just want to try to put two different worlds together, completely different worlds, completely different mediums, I'd say, because like we are meaning movie against animated cartoon, 3D cartoon basically. They are depicted in somewhat real world, but again, this is too stylistic and these are more realistic, and it's pretty hard to put these two together, so like in order to make them look organic. So, and one of the way that I will look them organic, I guess, is by suggesting some type of a comedic element. So again, as I said before, adding a comedic element to it, some type of a comic relief or something like comedic. That way you kind of get a little bit wild card in terms of you can do whatever you want, because as long as this is a parody or something like with a comedic suggestion, you almost always can get, no matter what results you get, it's going to work. So yeah, and 24 minutes of blah blah blah, and let's just go into blah blah blah. I'm not doing that. Blah blah blah. Okay. Yeah, first let's just choose a proper layer, because it's definitely going to be on a different layer. I wouldn't want to mess up our layers. Our music playing, just listen it again, I'm usually not listening to music because it kind of distracts me. Right now, it would be probably a better idea to listen it, but nope. Music is basically like playing for you. I just hope you enjoy it. For the creating some type of an atmosphere of like chill and serious creating process with elements of craziness in it along the way, and basically peaceful atmosphere. Again, I'm all for peace. That's one of the reasons why I don't want for people to curse and like use bad language and whatever. So in real life, I hate to do this by myself. Like, I tend to use this less because not something that I like, and I usually don't like when people are cursing too. But again, they are doing whatever they can. So like, my mind's right. If you want to curse, instead use like random words, like fudge, like most of the people are using, or like pork, or I don't know, whatever. So these things makes this a little bit more funnier, and you can still understand the meaning behind this, but it kind of loses this dirtiness to it and feels more comedic and more fun, and I don't know. So yeah. Oh yeah, this is going to be a hard thing to do. My brain doesn't want to work with this at all. Like, but I want to stream. I want to create. I love to create things. This is my passion. This is my passion. I can't function without it. Yeah, so come on, man, focus. I know what will help me to focus. Definitely know. By drawing a cube. Yes. If we will draw a cube, this definitely will help us. This is not a cube. This is a way to go practice method. When you start working and nothing comes out, start with a cube. Like, sit and draw a decent cube. Mirror it to make sure that this is a perfect cube. It's not. As we see, it's a little bit tilted, but nothing bad about it. We could work with this and then try to draw a circle inside this cube. This is not a particular, not a circle. And then try to make this circle a little bit more, I don't know, like this. Then create a little bit of crease in here. Make this a little bit like this. And then add another cube in here. For no particular reason. Let's just add things. It's a good way to practice. Yeah, trust me. Yeah, then we are just basically adding or curving inside this cube another cube. No, it's not working. Oh no, we didn't establish the back of the cube. Definitely need to do that. See-through method. Now wait a minute, looks like... I guess you already figured out what we are doing. What was that? Something crazy was on the street. So we basically drew a toilet. Why? Because it helps, because toilet kind of has a pretty simple form to it, but we see it every day though. Like, this is something that we get accustomed to it. Unless we're living in woods, then we don't have a toilet there. We have something like a booth with a hole in it, probably. But either way, this is a horrible example for a toilet though. Yeah, I don't like how it looks. Awful toilet. Even toilets have a different design. So yeah, this was a pretty interesting warm-up. Wait a minute. And then we are starting with the transformers. Where this cube actually? Oh, I for some reason draw it in a different view. What this layer is actually doing? Nothing. Delete it. Delete it. Delete. Delete. Okay. Let's focus. It's a pretty hard thing to do though, but I still will try to focus. Okay, let's, like, for the side view, I guess we need to establish a couple of lines, because the problem with the side view, it combines front view, of course, with the back view and creates something in the middle. And one of the problems that I'm usually having with the side view is if I have not enough information, I can't work with it properly. So let's just establish a little bit like a suggestion lines. They are going to be pretty loose. I definitely need to buy a smudge guard, because my self-made smudge guard looks awful. It has holes in it, and it's bad, and it's pink. Nothing against pink though, but like, it's dirty, it's pink. Nothing pretty about it. We also don't have any like space for a drawing a hand separately. I think in order to do that, we need to move them a little bit far apart to create more space here, because like things seems too restricted for me, I guess. Yes, we could draw this. We could draw this. Huh. Usually when you create in these lines, you need to create them only for things that you actually need them for. Like creating for everything, these lines are pretty crazy, because we have two views. Sometimes we need to kind of work with this, like create one line here and one line here. So first, of course, I'm choosing the lines that same for everyone, or for every EU. And only then I will work on lines that will combine, like work with, for instance, oh, this thing is going to be on the side, on the back, this thing is going to be on the top. Same with the knee. It's going to be here, and whatever. So, of course, first thing that we need to establish is the height. Good thing that we already have it, so... no, actually we need to establish this thing too. The end for our amortizators. Did I do this? Let's just draw them because I guess they're important. We kinda see them. No, let's just draw them. What else we need, like crazy from the side at least. Again, this thing we're not going to see it probably. It's going to be a little bit like inside. What else? So for this and created thing, for this we would probably create a thing. This line will definitely help us to work with the side view. That would be a bad thing to create for this one too. Okay. Also for this one, because it's definitely going to be evident, we are going to see it 100%. I don't know about this thing though. Oh, it's going on the same line. Oh, come on, I'm yelling like crazy. Yeah, my brain is slowly shuts down. Shuts itself down. And we are going into, let's just call it lines. Linus. Oriola. Okay, we saved. This is a good thing. Hey, come on. Did I forget to turn off this thing? Either way. Where are our reference? But ideally, of course, I wanna make at least side view today, because like, if I'm not going to stream creative in weekends, then it means that like today's the last day before weekend, and I kind of want to finish it on something good, or at least something finished. And the good thing is, if I will manage to finish a side view, then I kind of solved most of the problem in terms of designing things. The rest in this work is just going to draw itself there. For instance, we already kind of figured it out how Quintessa is going to look, at least presumably. Let's just show her. Yeah, so by the way, let's work a little bit on the Quintessa, because something about her I kinda don't like. Actually, the more I look at this one, the more I kinda dig it, and this less. Again, this is less interesting, but it's more design, I'd say, cohesive somehow. It has something like full working. Oh no. I know what I will change. Figured it out the problem. Figured it out the problem. We don't wanna do the same as the Quintessence has already. Let's just create our own thing and put in here some type of a crystal. Why the heck not? Tell me. We artists, we can make our own decisions in terms of like what to draw, what to not draw, and what to put in here, how to put it in, whatever. So let's just create. This kind of looks more like a queen. And the only thing that I would definitely edit her, the thing that actually looks here pretty decently good, is just basically make this thing bigger. Like, it screams that we need something in here. Like something bigger. Something that could just... Actually looks pretty stupid. Maybe it's like an elf ears? We should definitely need something big in the back. Like these things, like leaves or something similar to it. For the most part, I guess it's going to be like in the back. So in the back that we're just going to see it in dark. Maybe not in complete dark though. Like this. Make it quick. To suggest division of the head from the body parts. Just a little bit of shading. Now she's actually looks more like a... These things looks like leaves. Something not working about them. They need to look less organic. I can't change them anytime. This one actually seems better. This thing is actually... Yeah, we could make something like this. Ooh, slowly fades away, fade away, fade away. Come on, man, you need to push through it. Sleep deprivation is bad. But sometimes it's necessary. If it's got out of a hand. Oh, come on. Now Quintessence looks like an evil queen. Unless, no, at least she looks like a queen. This is a good thing. So nothing bad about the fact that she looks like a queen. Right? at least she looks like a queen. Because she's a queen. Quintessa. Come on. Come on. Yeah, I can like that better. You see, like, a little bit of redesign and things starting to become much more appealing. And we not necessarily have to go through these crazy things. Let's just make these a little bit more apparent too. Because they kind of lost their direction, where this direction is actually taking. It's taking there, like from the back. Oh yeah, that would be actually pretty cool. Like in terms of the design, if this thing kind of starts at the top and then it goes back and kind of revolves them in it, and then just somehow from the back drives into some type of a loop, that would be a pretty awesome thing. It's not necessarily going to look that good from the top, from the front. Why am I mixing top for the front constantly? What's wrong? These are completely different dimensions or views. But again, I want to make Quintessa actually like robotic looking, and one of the reasons to make her look like this is to add something unfamiliar, something that probably doesn't look right, but yet works. I don't like these things. We need to get rid of them. I know in original design something similar to it in present, but again, we kind of already past this point of following original design. Can already made it on our own, so there's no point of following the original design. It served his purpose, or its purpose. Yeah, actually, from the front, she looks pretty cool. Well, from far, scaled. Okay, this was a pretty good warm-up. At least we redesigned Quintessa's head, which is a good thing. So yeah, what I talked about kind of got distracted. So Quintessa, we already have design for Quintessa. The only thing we need to do is just put her in there. Yeah, it's going to be hard, but again, we are going to do this through the suggestive design, and we're not going to put her into sculpting and actually sculpt this, because come on, this is going to be crazy to sculpt, only for the sake of placing it and showing only this part of her, like, body. Maybe something like this. Maybe we will show something with the tentacles too. So for that, go through the stages of 3D, not necessary at all. So we're not going to. Again, these guys we already have, so we can work on the suggestive design. Again, the whole reason why I did this is to have some type of a visual information, or imagine how they look in this particular angle, and by having these like projections, now I have this information and I actually can put them in here. Maybe not like properly, because again we need to figure out their form in 3D in order to do this properly in Final Sketch, but it's enough for suggestive design to make something like this, pretty bad, but still we need to suggest something there in order to create another layer for our brain to then start to build towards another layer. And the more layers we have, the more understanding about the final piece we have. And in the end, we're definitely going to achieve pretty good results, I think. Yeah. So yeah, again, putting Quintessa, kind of check. Putting these statues, check. Of course, check. I guess we're going to see only a small part of it. Probably something like this. Maybe even less or more. Stop yawing, man. I guess I hope I properly pronounce it. Yawing? Зевать. Зевать. Yawn. Listen.
To yawn.
Yawn?
To yawn.
Really?
To yawn.
I remember it as a yawn. Yawn. Whatever. Mistake! Yeah, and the only thing that we kind of left for this is kind of the end of the fourth stage of exploration of 2D sketching. I actually looked forward to end this stage long time ago, like a couple of probably maybe a week ago. But again, it took me much more time than I expected, so yeah. And again, we almost have all the information that we need. We have like a pretty acceptable design for Quintessa in order to place her under the table and showcase her right here. We have enough design to suggest our statues, enough information to suggest our statues in here and here and here. We can already have poses for birds. We have somewhat arranged things on the table. We almost have everything that we need in terms of a suggestive design. And last thing, of course, that we're going to work with is with design of the arc. Again, I will think how to work with the arc properly, how to showcase it better way. Maybe I will even make something interesting in here, some type of like, yeah, something like this. So we're going to definitely think about this, how to work around this, but still. This is not going to take that much time, it's not going to be that hard, and the hardest work we are doing with these guys. So this is actually the hardest thing in this project, to figure out this complex form, because again, it's a lot of this form. We have a lot of this form in the project and we just can't disregard it. And yeah, because again, we have it here, probably in this parts of it, here, blah, blah, blah. So we have a bunch of them. So let's just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Who? 9, supposedly 10, maybe 11, maybe 12. Did I miss number? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 40, 50. So can you see how many times we need to use these type of designs in our work, and Quintessa kind of too. It's kind of sucks too, because again, Quintessa has something similar to it in terms of a design. So yeah, this is the thing. This is the whole reason why I'm doing this, and it's necessary for me in order to visualize these things properly. And yeah, this is actually the hardest thing, because again, this is the most complex object in our or subject in our scene. And even though the subject, not our primary nor secondary focus, it's still so big part of a tertiary focus that it kind of makes the whole tertiary focus, and without it there is no work, or there is a work, but this work is pretty closed, and we still need put a little bit of information to suggest the idea Angry Birds versus Transformers. Yep. And like hour late, finally I got into side view. Oh come on, you gotta be kidding me. I definitely need to take a quick break, but before break let's just go with something to make our side view work. Like, slowly. Yeah, this is definitely going to be something to make. It's like a statue. It's like a bust. It actually looks like a bust. Do I say it properly? I guess yes. Artistic bust. And again, like, I can't go flat even here. My brain wants to create a little bit of dimension in here. But the problem is, if we will create this dimension, it's not necessarily going to work in 3D. So like, we need to get rid of this dimension, but in order to visualize it in 3D at the same time, we need it. So okay, first let's just put one important thing. Put right this one right here. And this one is going to be like this. And then the further we go, no, actually, wait a minute. Bosco. This thing is so yeah, we're putting this in. Supposedly somewhere here his neck is ending. Yes, maybe a little bit lower. And then it goes like this till this point. Then it goes like this till this point. And then it goes like this till this point. And it goes like this. Okay, actually, yeah, the end is going to be somewhere here, because, like, yeah. So maybe this is a pretty decent depiction how it's going to look. So yeah, I will go and break. I don't know how it's going to take me to refresh my mind. I just basically drink water, stretch myself a little bit, and just basically jump, maybe run on one place. Who knows? So just basically I need to put my mind into a little bit more work night mode, so because right now I'm actually my eyes just basically shutting down. So yeah, I will be back in a minute. Or 2, or 3, or 5, but I think not more than 5. Let's hope for it. And I'm back. Yeah, that was a refresher a little bit. Listening music, one song particularly helped me a little bit, re-energized me. Usually music doing everything. I if I, like, for instance, not in a mood about something, I'm just basically listening to a particular song and it just makes my day. And when I'm listening a full album of my favorite band, for instance, oh yeah, this is an awesome thing. Usually it's re-energized me, like, it's awesome thing. Okay, so let's continue where we left off. Where we were. See, about this thing though, like, you see, I forgot about one interesting thing. Right here, it kind of has a little bit of thing in here, but we don't see it here. So it's like, you tell me that it just basically goes there and that's it? We could suggest this, though. Like, for instance, it actually becomes in here. And then it just goes straight. Right here. Kinda works. Yeah, we need to follow this line, so yeah, this is definitely a hard thing to do though, like combine all these two views and figure out how it's going to look from the side. Shoot, it's crazy. Again, you have to be more experienced to deal with these things. The more I will do these, of course, the better I will get at it, but I think after I will figure out this form in 3D, it definitely will answer most of my questions in terms of how I need to approach this properly and whatever. Oh, wait a minute. This thing is pretty high. So you tell me that it actually covers the part of the... This is not something that it's necessarily good. Because I wouldn't want for this to cover. But it is. It actually covers most of the thing in here. Like this. Yeah. It actually covers it. No way. You see how confusing it is? If you're trying to follow a particular angle or a particular view as the view that you use for these type of things, you do it this one way. But when you're starting to follow a different view, you're kind of starting to understand something wrong about this. Okay, how we're going to approach our side view. Let's just go with the simplicity though, as always. So we are going to add like something like a torso suggestion in here. I think it's definitely going to be a little bit right now. The whole thing is to showcase a proper balance, I guess. Creating a skeleton sorry about that. Yeah, creating a skeleton for a transformer. Yeah, by the way, wanted to talk about balance, so counterbalance things are in the human body are always counterbalance themselves. So if we tilt our pelvis this direction, then this thing goes there, or let's just goes opposite direction. It's going to be much more understandable. This thing is pretty big though. Hey, wait a minute, it's too high. Yep, it's somewhere in here. It's like we need to misplace it, but the problem is, should I properly distribute it, the weight distribution? Oh yeah, this is a pinpoint. You see, I did it by eye, and still I was pretty close. So usually the human balance things out this way. So I just putting a line through at the beginning of a, forgot how this called, part of the skeleton. Doesn't matter. So yeah, from this part of the spine of the neck, and just go into the foot. Usually works, unless of course I'm talking about static poses. Usually it kind of works for dynamic poses too, because for instance, if we're going to see our like chuck in here, most weight is actually distribution in here, and his neck is somewhere in here. And if we would imagine his head as this one, this one for instance, right here actually would be his point of, right here would be his skeleton, right here would be his clavicle, probably it actually pretty wide, and of course legs. Funny skeleton, and down don't remember me. Scooby pop pop boom. And it's still going to feel like this guy is falling for some reason. But it's not. It's actually going to be pretty balanced, because we will add these amortizators in the back. They're going to be pretty big. They are going to be pretty big. So yeah, I'm definitely not going to stream like the full 4-hour session, because yeah, I'm kind of getting tired right away because like I was asleep. So I guess I will stream 2 hours. So let's just hope that I will done this thing till in less than an hour, like in 45 minutes. Would be a cool thing to do though. So let's just focus on this thing and do this. Let's do this. Ready to do this. Right now I'm suggesting, because I will definitely make it a little bit more, I'd say, the proper way. But for now, I need a suggestion. I need something that definitely will help me put these things down, make them right. Also, like, one of the problems that we can't ask in here, how long his also, I feel like this thing has to be smaller. Nope. From here. Even in here smaller. By the way, I don't know. Do I need to like show it or not? Let's just see. I worked before on the anatomical proportions or anatomical like schemes, something like this. Kind of spent on it a couple of months, or even more probably. I didn't finish it yet, but it definitely could benefit us, so let's find it. Let's find it. I forget where it is. I don't think that I will remember it. I have a pretty organized system in terms of what things and where they're placed and how to find them, but not like, of course when you have a lack of sleep your brain functions slower, and yeah, I'm not going to remember it definitely. Can something tell me that it's something here, somewhere here, but nope, not here. Maybe here? Something close. Something close. Yeah, I found project files, but I don't see the result files. Nope. Don't see results. A bunch of project files, but no results. When did I put results? No, that was a long time ago, I forget. Only project files. And I'm not going to open them because they're pretty busy. They are big. Oh well. I will definitely show them some time ago. Yeah, definitely in time I will show them. Basically it's like an anatomical proportions, so we have like front view, back view, side view, all these views, and we just basically use these views to achieve a proper come on, they have to be here right now. Definitely not delete them. I used it on a pretty constant basis though. Maybe these are. Kinda. Yeah, actually something similar. Yeah, I just show you this, why not? So yeah, this is the thing, what I talked about. So let's just make it further away because it's not fitting. So yeah, I'm talking about these type of things. So why I kind of wanted to find this. So as you see, in order to analyze this anatomy, I need to analyze it even from the inner side. So yeah, we can create a pretty decent side view and create this anatomy using this view. Like this side view and the outer view. But what's inside we also need to think about, especially when we're going to put something in a particular pose. And usually anatomy is not anatomy books not considering this type of turn, this inner side, or at least not all of them, because again this is pretty complex thing to add a complete turnaround. As you see, I didn't finish the back view because I didn't need it to draw anything from the back view, so I basically not get into finishing the back view. But this thing is definitely work in progress. I definitely will work on this. This thing is actually was built specifically for these purposes, for the purpose of building a human body this way, like in projections, then putting it into 3D view, putting it into a 3-quarter view in order to understand how it works, and then use this so-called reference to remember things. By the way, all these things that were all these things, first they're in Russian, like blah blah blah. They definitely need to be retranslated to present these things for you. But basically what these things are calling is names of the muscles, how I understand these muscles. So basically it's not like some type of a terminology from the book, is actually my own understanding of these muscles, their placement, in order to remember what they are, where they are, and how they look, and what function they are like having. In time I will definitely present this information in much more like finished way. I will definitely rebuild a little bit this anatomy. Right now it kind of seems a little bit, of course it's closer to realistic things, but as you see it's a little bit stylized. The same is going to be for a man's anatomy. This is of course woman's anatomy, and this is going to be a man's anatomy, which is going to be a little bit different, of course. But all muscles definitely will stay the same. The only difference is going to be in their size and shapes, volumes in particular. Yeah, so and all this information is again about proportions, like comparison of the human body. Like you see all these boxes is what I talked about. This is basically the cranium, and the height of the body was measured by craniums. So it's like probably 11 craniums. 1, 2, 3. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a half. Yeah, like 11 and a half craniums. And why I choose craniums? Because then you can easily apply these craniums to everything. So 2 craniums is the proportion of the top portion of the hand. 2 craniums, the size of the hand, including until thumbs, or not thumbs, but fingers starts to appear, and whatever. So all these proportions are pretty, I'd say, strict and close, in order to of course create an ideal proportions. And then if you want to stylize, again, as I said before, you need to kind of bend these rules. You need to find a way to bend these rules, and usually the only way to bend rules is to understand like the universal rules, and then find a way to bend them. Okay, we placed most of the things as we wanted. Now let's just go and suggest the volumes. Again, for now I'm sticking with something close to the human, only to create some type of a dynamic. Because again, if I'm going to think about like these cubes and whatever, I definitely not going to maintain this dynamic. It still looks awkward, and again, I said this before, this is one of the biggest problems of these type of views. It's what I hate about them, about side view for the body. It usually looks bad. It rarely looks good. This is one of the things, of course, that I'm having problem with when it comes down to these type of views and working with these views. Not every angle is necessarily works for everything. So for instance, in here, side view is kinda, it's important. Someone would probably say that we could go without side view, and partially I would agree, because we have this view, and Like the only thing that we need to do is just combine them together and just that's it. But the problem is every object and subject actually has a depth or some type of a thickness thing. And if we disregard this when we put this into 3D and we'll try to analyze form, we're just going to get from the side view this, like one line. And only by rotating this line a particular way we will get the whole body. So yeah, we're not going to do that. We're not going to miss things. So there, let's just go. These things are definitely here, like without a doubt. They're here, and they're actually going probably till this, and then we have this thing in the top. In the front. Again, I'm mixing them up. Again, suggesting. This is not final. We're not going to work, I guess, on the side view right away as complex as we worked in here, because again, we don't have that much information in the side view. It's pretty limited, unfortunately. Because of its limits, we limit it to a specific thing. Yeah, it looks awful, but again, to make it better, we need to work on it. Of course. Not everything works from the first try. In most cases, you need to put time to it in order to make it right. Like, one of the things that artist has to learn is how to not get discouraged right away, because it's still something that I am constantly facing, but nowadays less than before. Before I was like a broken in terms of like it was pretty easy to throw me off by a particular thing. Drawing, like when I started drawing something and I'm right away facing some problems, my brain is basically shuts down. Oh no, what I realize now that this is actually an inner part, and this is an outer part, So this thing is actually goes outside, and this thing inside. And actually when I draw it, I try to replicate this side. So you see how brain works strangely. When in reality I actually had to remember this one. Like this side is yet not created, and kind of created here. So for that, let's just make a little bit of a change to actually make this differentiation. So what I definitely would do here is to just create. First, it's definitely not going to be that pronounced. 100%. It is going to be less pronounced first, and second, I guess it's going to be a little bit more closer to this one. We're not going to see it that much. So it's like this thing is just basically goes in there like this, then like this. Because this is the better way to picture it. Kind of looks much more cooler even. Again, before, after. And again, we didn't change silhouette, or we did. Yeah, we did a little bit. It doesn't matter that we change the silhouette. It doesn't matter that we change it. Whatever. Yes, sir. Okay, this is going to be a hard thing to detect. Also, these things, suppose, higher, you say. And again, next up. This thing is actually goes in here. Oh no, we forgot to close this. All this time we draw on the back layer. We drew on the back layer. Kinda wanted to work with this side. As it's supposed to be on the side. These are, leave them separate. Yeah, it seems like I'm not going to finish side view today. It's crazy hard for me to make it right. Because again, as I said before, for me, like a side view of the body is going to be the hardest one, because it's not that hard thing to draw a front view of the body and the back view. Back view because it doesn't have that much information, front view because it's a front view. We are accustomed to see everyone and anything from the front. Unless we're backstabbers, which is a bad thing, of course. Okay, so thing in here. Yeah, Captain Mo. Yeah, this is a bad example, but still, to make this thing from the side, it's going to be crazy. You wanna ask why? Because it is. Because it is. Iris. Us. Oh shoot. Okay, this thing works fine. It has a little bit of it in here and in here. I just shut down. I don't know how many I was like seconds out, but I'm shutting down. Not a good thing. Fortunately, I'm not going to finish it. But again, it's still kinda, this video I guess still has something to it, so I'm not just like came blah 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 something and just go was gone. No, I actually tried to talk about something. I tried to like analyze things that we talked about before. Yeah, so it still has a, I think for someone it still has the information that he or she could need. What's the problem in here? That's the problem. Yeah, this thing actually I don't know how to properly showcase it. You could ask me why you started with lag, because it's the hardest thing to do. Not actually. I started with lag because it seemed less hard. It's still pretty hard, but for some reason it seemed less hard. Maybe because we need to make a little bit of replacement. Oh. No way. It actually has to be the same type. Yeah, I guess I just made this one too big. Okay, it works fine. It's going to look better after we'll add these things. What do you do with the trucks? You drive them. What do you do with the trucks? Tax or tux? You wear them or you pay them. Okay. Yeah, when I had idea that I just put these things in here and see what's happened. I didn't have this one. Yeah, it looks crazy weird. The problem is this thing is pretty big. Definitely. It's going to be unrealistic if I showcase something smaller in here. Again, transformers are huge. And you kind of have to have everybody. Yeah, my brain is slowly getting to sleep. Like, I'm actually doing this, I closed eyes probably 5 or 6 times and started to just drop. But I want to finish. I don't want to let this work till the Monday. But realistically, I know that I'm not going to finish it, so it's kind of throws me off a little bit. And one of the reasons why I still am going to stream Magic study, because Magic is less, I guess, sleepy in terms of what it provides. It kind of provides a little bit more action, a little bit more thinking. At least direct thinking or reacting. Right here you're not necessarily reacting, you actually need to dig deep, try to analyze it and work with it. Let's just assume that that's this. Okay, let's just assume that we see this thing. Then it goes with the thing, and here is the main thing. That goes right here. And then for some reason, oh, not for some reason, but actually for a specific reason, it goes from here into here. Okay. Pretty normal. Oh no, oh, actually, this thing from the side actually looks pretty cool. But again, this is not this one. This is this one that kind of hides from us a little bit. We could depict it like this. Why not? We still need to have these in here, either way, and we need to make some type of a connection. I'm continuing yawning. Yawning. How about these? If we are going to place them here, do they change much or not? Or they're going to stay the same? Didn't save, let's just save, didn't save, let's just save, save. Saving document. Yeah, I started on pelvis. Funny thing, I guess Transformers has a completely different animation from, or not animation, but oh come on! I wanted to say something and my brain is just basically turned off and I forgot about what I wanted to say. It's like I thought about this mine, then I just get into sleep for a second, and after I woke up, I forget about it. It's like a fading out dream. Like a second ago it was, and yet you're not remembering. Okay, let's just turn off our add things. How many of those we have though? Oh, yeah. Because now we actually need to create this anatomical thing. Suggest our design. Ideally, this is too close. Oh, again, I got sleepy. This is interesting. Never tried to draw when I'm just basically half asleep or interesting experience. No, I actually draw, but that was a long time ago. I not even remember it properly. So this thing goes right here, then it kind of goes around, and then it goes in here. Then it creates this thing and goes there. It looks strange. I guess at the end we will definitely correct it using these things. So like a little bit joint manipulation. We're definitely going to work with it because it doesn't look right now. Doesn't look right now. Not right now. I guess you understand what I said. Kinda need to make it less curvy, I'd say. Because again, it has to look decent. We don't have like ideal results in here. This is just for the sake of studying, for the sake of understanding complex form of this magnitude. So this is something to look forward in learning. Hey. What's with my mic? Yeah, the hardest thing is going to be working with this one, with the top thing. Oh, come on, this is crazy. The top thing is killing me. It's like it goes here, then it goes here. It becomes not evident at all. Then it's just an armor on the top. Sick armor on the top. Same for here, for instance. One thing that I definitely can do is to showcase these tilted things. They're definitely going to be present in here. Are they so far? Guess yes. Guess they are. Yeah, of course we need. We have some type of a thing here that kind of covers them. I wouldn't say this is an exoskeleton of some kind. It's just a part of a body that extends. Because again, we need to remember about this one. That definitely could create problems. Again, we're not seeing it from the front, from the side, unfortunately. Oh, come on. Got sleep again. Got sleepy again. I definitely make recording, at least I will try to make recording on weekends of this and actually finish it, because I actually want to, starting from Monday, finally get into our final stages in order to, like, throughout the week actually end the whole work, because we still have a bunch of things to do. We still have to work on colors, we still need to work on materials and a bunch of other things. And when I'm compiling all these things in my head and imagining how many time it's going to take, took me, well, whatever. Yeah, I'm kind of starting to become frustrated, because again, my main thing is not quantity, my main thing is quality, and I want to create quality work, and I know that in order to create quality work you need to put time into it. The more time you put it into work, the more quality it gets. Of course, if you work on a quality, if you're definitely searching for quality, because sometimes you could work on one work like years and still didn't achieve anything with it. So it all depends on how you're looking at this. So again, I'm trying to, of course, learn from everything, and as I talked before, my main priority is the focus on. Come on, this is going to be hard to depict. You gotta be kidding me. I would say that this is unrealistic thing to showcase that much of a things so small. But that way we actually kind of create this thing, which is on the same line as this. It's going to be a potential thing for the hand to grow. It's going to be a pretty close window for putting a hand. Of course, we need to make this shoulder broad, so it's just a suggestion. I will delete this. Kinda want to test it out. How it looks. Maybe I will take another half an hour. Then we'll make a half an hour break and then start stream magic, I guess. Because I definitely I don't wanna like end on nothing. So I just need to talk about something. So usually when I talk, so one of the ways why I actually stayed like awake for more than 24 hours already is because I talked non-stop, like non-stop, almost non-stop. This has actually helped me to stay awake, making recordings. We completely don't know what's behind this one, so we kind of know that something is here. Something is here, right here, like something in here too. Also, this thing is on top too. I guess it has to be a little bit like this to make this just a little bit more pumped. So pretty far from what I would imagine. Again, as I said, working on the side view for these type of things are a hard thing to do if you don't have that much experience in it. Oh, wait a minute. This thing here is actually a little bit like this. Okay. Then this one goes. Actually goes right here. We actually could make it a little bit like curvy. Why not? Wanna? Walnut? Actually, this thing ideally has to be a little bit less permanent. Yeah. Guess this works. Not fully, but it's better than nothing. Alright. it's so actually far from what's really happening. But again, as I said before, we need to make some type of a suggestion. We definitely can't like figure out how it's going to look from the side, because this is too complex of a form, and this form wasn't created for, I guess, these type of purposes. Let's just see this and see if stream is lagging or not. Kind of interesting. Yeah. Nope, not lagging. Awesome. Okay. Okay. Actually, I kind of like how it looks from the side. So a little bit bumped up chest here. Less pumped up chest in here. And from now on, I guess they're just going to be a showing of the biceps, or no, abs, or some type of an abs suggestion for the abs. Okay. Okay, so let's just figure it out. So this one depicted is this one. Maybe not the like in a particular line, but pretty close. Pretty close. Again, it kind of goes there and ends somewhere in the proper place. So this is done. Next thing is this plate. This plate, of course, has to be on top. This plate has to be on top. So we depicted her too. Next is this one. So yeah, it has to end actually in here. And you see, like, from the top view, of course, it looks differently. Like there we didn't have that much space for it, and now we actually have pretty decent amount of space. This is something about like these, working with these type of views is something that kind of usually throws me off sometimes, and you need to adjust to these changes and understand why are they happening. I guess I need to make it a little bit more quadrish. Yeah, somewhere here. What about this one? Actually, it has to be higher. Okay. Now we can get rid of it. I don't know about this though, like, should we have to make this like it did? No, I don't think so. Let's make something more interesting in it. And then somewhere in the middle we have these. It's going to be hard to separate them though. The first layer, of course, is going to be on top layer. This one is definitely the top layer. Then this top layer ends somewhere in here. Becomes a layer smaller. And the other layer just basically becomes erased. Since we can't suggest a form here, because we don't have a lot of, it's going to go in layer stages and from now on in here. So it's just going to do this. OMG. Come on, brain. Work half an hour. You need to. You need to finish this. You need to finish this. This is your task. Until you do it, you can go and relax. You need to stay sharp. It's pretty far from sharp, but still. Sharp, 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 sharp. It's pretty hard to believe that this thing is like this. Oh yeah, it's actually transitioning into this. This way it makes more sense. Again, I don't have references for that, so I'm basically just using these two views that I established earlier in order to create a proper side view that we could use in 3D in order to understand this form in full 3D. You see, this is actually a complex thing to do. So, for instance, if I need to translate a particular design that I designed in here, can you imagine how many long hours I will put into translating this design in a particular pose, and then I will present it to a client. The client just basically will tell me, no, it's not working. I already talked about it, but still. This is one of the reasons why I'm doing this, because again, if I will understand the form for this object or subject that I'm working with, I will draw it in any angle possible. So if the angle in which I draw this subject, for instance, is not working for the client, that way I can redraw it because I don't have like any problems. Yeah, it's going to be pretty annoying to redraw it like from the beginning, but at least I will have all information needed, and I will do it with first quicker, and second, I guess, with more confidence and less frustration, because at least I don't need to refigure out things. I just need to use this information in the proper way. Still, it's not easy. You need to learn to do that too, but again, I'd rather have these type of options than something strange and unrealistic. Oh. This thing is actually goes in here, and I can forget about it. Also, it kind of wraps around these two a little bit. We're definitely going to use it. It's definitely going to be present, and also it would be a good thing to make it with a little bit of bumps here and there. One thing is somewhere here. Again, they're so small in here, like in the side view, that you almost don't see them at all. Like they're not present at all. But they are part of the body. Transformers body. Ooh. Rebecca? Rebecca who? What? What are you talking about? I don't know, what are you talking about? Rebecca who? Yeah, this looks pretty strange. I'll just place it a little bit lower. Or let's just redraw it, why not? It's much easier than placing it somewhere there. The good thing that we can delete this. This is also Not completely, but still. I need to remember that from the back they actually have a little bit more curvature than... Well, actually in here they have curvature too, at least in here. Again, the more details you put in, the better you understand the form, but you actually constantly have to analyze it in order to do it properly. It's not that easy, of course. What? Let's assume that they are cross-passing somewhere in their long way. Okay, now how we are going to deal with these? It has to go on top in here. And about question about width, do I need to make it wider? It's not a problem. We always can use like these type of instruments to make things a little bit bigger if we need to. So yeah, we will lose quality, of course, but again, this is a sketch either way, so it doesn't matter much. Okay. So probably would be a good idea to put this like this. Yeah, right now I'm kind of having a problem because this thing is definitely going to just like this. I definitely not going to do this like this and like this, and definitely not like this. It's going to be broken that way. So it just has to like balance in its own weight. The only thing that I will suggest is its form. Wrong form. Actually, it goes there. Still somewhere in here. Oh, wait a minute. Actually, distributed it properly. Then we have I'm definitely not going to showcase this because and actually on top I could, but again there's going to be too much of a layer, too much layers, and it's going to look bad. Yeah, can you imagine in here something like half an eye too? It has to be higher. I don't know. Seems a little bit strange. Also, I kind of figured out the problem. Why is my audio tracks on recording is actually lagging? Specifically, the first one that I streamed. Yeah, basically I just need to separate them. I kind of have an idea to make a video on YouTube which like solves this problem, because I read about workaround for this problem and I didn't find any working solution for me, at least. And again, by making this type of video on YouTube, I guess it would be helpful. So I will in detail go through the steps how to work around this if it's going to work. So basically this stream is going to answer these questions. Are my tracks going to lag still, or they not? I hope they not, because I kinda logically I think this is the solution. Kinda just got to the solution throughout the day. Okay. Then what? Then it goes in here, and then it goes back again. Then it goes there, and then it goes right here. Yeah, working with side views are a crazy thing though. Again, drawing head and side view actually pretty cool. It's pretty challenging too, because we usually struggling with the proper placement of the head. So for instance, usually heads are more prolongated than we think, like these are equal. Because when we're starting to draw head, we actually kind of drawing it as a circle, and that way it doesn't look realistic. And we are trying to, like, for instance, put hair in it. We either adding an extra chunk of hair in order to cover this problem, which results in badly handling of hair, because again, the key to drawing your hair properly is to understand what's beneath them, or in what surface these things are actually present. We will get to the hair. I'm not that expert in drawing hair, but I can understand how these things work. And again, as I said before, I'm a theoretical thinker, and my brain understands how these things works, and I will see if I can manage all these things in practice. I hope I can. But again, even if I'm not, I think I will at the end figure out how to solve these problems, because for me knowledge is everything. It's something that kind of drives me, and I love to learn, I love to educate, and everything like that. It's still unclear though, like for instance this thing is just tell me it has to be here. What reason for it? We could suggest it only as a suggestion. Of course, when you put these type of designs in here, they have to have meaning. Yeah, I kind of already created too big of a thing, too much layers. Either we need to make this one bigger to keep up with it, or make this one less permanent. Okay, these things are covered. Now let's go with this strange thing. So it kind of goes there. Hey, wait a minute. Yeah. Oh yeah, already. Forgot about it, I did it. Yeah, it goes there. And what's next? Where we going to put this thing next? It kind of goes here as a big plate. So one thing is actually goes here. This is this one. Then we have the big one, which goes here and here, and it actually ends somewhere here, maybe. Yeah, this is going to be a crazy thing to follow. But it's definitely going to be something that will work. Yes. And let's of course just suggest these things like they're actually present there, because they are. I don't want to draw a hand, I guess. Hi, how's it going? Yeah, I'm doing fine. A little bit tired, want to sleep. But other than that, how you're doing? How do you properly put this? So again, I'm just suggesting these things to make them properly placed. Yeah, working on the side view is a painful thing. It's not enough information. You need to again make this information on the get-go, and it's a pretty hard thing to do. But again, we're getting towards the end, like probably 10 minutes or so, and I will make a break and then I will go into magic right away, because I need to go to sleep. Like, this is like 26 hours without a sleep. I'm getting a little bit so yeah, this thing goes here, right here. Oh yeah, this then it goes around. What can I forget about? That probably goes here too. No, let's just showcase it too. Why not? Oh. The whole idea was to make transformers not that complex. And what did I got? I made them complex. Come on. I wanted to simplify them, and instead I made them more complex. Hate it. Hate it. And because of this complexity, but again, as I said before, this complexity will benefit us, because by placing them in here we will create this awesome contrast between simplicity of the Angry Birds and complexity of the Transformers. It definitely will look pretty cool at the end, I guess. So working on these things are not complete waste of time. Okay, now we need to figure out how to finish this thing. Okay, so oh, actually this thing is going to be somewhere. Yeah, we're not going to see it. And come on, I kind of forgot about these two. We need to think about them too. These plates. These plates. Plates, 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 plates. Definitely looks strange. Don't like it that much, but still, almost all side views looks pretty bad. It's pretty hard to achieve pretty good looking side view, because it's not something that you are accustomed to seeing, at least in the static view, because again, this is a complete static. There's no dynamic in here whatsoever. One thing that I definitely don't like about it is how it's like I definitely need to connect these together. This one with this one. Then create another one in here. And then it goes right here and right there, right there, right there. Yeah, something like this. Then it goes from here to here. Oh, it actually, yeah, we're actually not going to see this. A little bit jaggedy. Jiggity jag, 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 jiggity jag. Whew. Do I manage to end this in less than 10 minutes? I don't think so, but I'll try. The only thing that we didn't address is these things. Of course, I didn't address how these are going to look from the side, but I guess it's going to be pretty easy to draw them because, or sculpt them. After we have this one, we'll just basically we'll create a hand and just combine this one and this one together. It's not going to be that hard. Same for the hand. We already have most of the information for combining them together, and I don't think that we need to draw a separate hand. It could be a good thing to just establish a basic width of the hand, but I guess we're covered in terms of that. Let's just check this. Everything works fine. For now, works fine. Again, the one thing that kind of bugs me is that I wanted this project to be finished as fast as possible, but again, you can't force quality. If you want to create a quality work, you have to put time into it, and yeah, it's just something that you need to be prepared for. You can't force process. So you tell me this is it, like this thing goes here, but and right here is just an emptiness. You tell me this is an emptiness? Because again, from this till this, we're not seeing what's there. I could suggest that this is just... Oh, wait, why not? We could, like, just depict that there's some separation in here. And then they're just connected inside the two. Maybe we could even make them a little bit longer in here. Because when hand is going to be lifted up, like motion, yeah, it needs to be stretching. So these things has to be longer. Definitely has to be longer. Oh, come on, where's the eraser? Rescue, really good puppy. Whew. Yeah, something like this. Probably. No, it's not working because it's... Let's just do this. It's not the same that we have on the front and on the back. Yeah, maybe something like this. This is a little bit closer. And from here is going to extrude the hand. And then we just make it bigger, blah blah blah, create all these shapes and sculpt it, the whole hand, by using these views and adjust it properly to the proportions. Okay, yeah. I'm not that happy about how the side view is looking, but at least it's something. Save. Don't forget to save. We need to save. Minku. Yeah, I guess this is almost it. I still have problem with this thing though. I don't think this has to be too... Yeah, it has to be a little bit more subtle. The rest is just not visible, I guess. Okay, yeah, this one is implemented. Yeah, and again, this side is probably divided somewhere in here. Yeah, somewhere here. So this is the center of the side view. Wait a minute. Right here is different. Let's just hide our plates again. So they are covering... Yeah, we're not going to sculpt plates. We're just going to sculpt this, and plates we are going to add later. Same for the front view. It's definitely going to be interesting to see this as a sculpture. Like, I'm truly looking forward to it. Because the things that I don't understand necessarily in 2D, I kind of will force myself to understand in 3D, which is the whole point of making this thing, is to understand how these type of complex forms work in 3D space. These type of details are unnecessary actually, but since I'm feeling it, let's just do it. Ow. My knuckles. My knuckles. Oh, by the way, kneecap has to be actually much more out there. Something like this? No. No, 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 no. Yeah, I rested and draw the same. I wanna sleep, but I can't. I need to finish, I need to end things. Yeah, tomorrow I'm definitely going to sleep well. That's one of the reasons why I decided to stream Magic right away, in order to not stream it late. Yeah, things starting to become a little bit more clear now. Still a bunch of answers that questions that I didn't answer. For instance, this thing. And of course, these. How do you call this? A mirroring madness? Mirror, 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 mirror. Yeah, kind of looks decent. The only thing that I don't like is how this leg is actually protruded, like it's tilted. But the problem is, and of course it's, oh, now I actually realize this leg is out of proportions. Completely out of proportions. It's too small. Hello. I just work on this. Why did I have references for that? Like, again, if I had references for this, I would probably found a way around it. But since I'm working like from the mind, it's a hard thing. Okay, alright. Okay, this is going here. Then we're just basically yeah, this is a crazy angle for this one. It isn't working. It's like I need to figure out my own angle for it. Kurt Angle. My own. No. Oh, this is horrible angle to draw though. Again, I don't know how I'm going to sculpt this leg though. It's going to be pretty hard to do though. It's not in a flat view at all, and the specifically, okay, like transition from this angle to this angle was not that like hard, but transition of these angles into this one, oh yeah, that's hard. Like, come on. Save. Okay. Okay. I will finish it. I'm not going to give up. I'm not the one who gives up. Oh. See? Okay, let's just check this. Just check back. Another. No, I don't believe that this is the truth. This thing actually has to be as it was. Because again, there's no suggestion that they are breaking in shape or in direction. But I guess I will figure out this in 3D better. One of the things that kind of creates a problem in my perception. Again, it's all about how we're perceiving information. Because, for instance, like more experienced artists probably would perceive this better, and he or she would just right away to see this problem and solve it. My perception, of course, different, and I'm envisioning it a little bit differently. Because this thing goes there too. But I think it's pretty good, like decent amount of information. Even if I'm not going to use this like 100%, I'm still have at least something to work with, which is a good thing. Because when you have something to work with, you have a start. You have like actually a starting point that will lead you to somewhere. It's better than nothing. Yeah, the only thing that left is basically this strange, unrealistic angle of this leg. Because why it's unrealistic? Because right here it's tilted there, so deep, which creates a first and this problem in understanding, and this one kind of tilted right there a little bit. And my brain is trying to fight these angles. That's why I'm struggling. It's like I need to just say like screw it, and I'm going to do this thing as I feel it, not as it's supposed to be. Again, this leg looks pretty cool in here and decently cool in here, but here, nope. No, I don't want to erase the proportion itself. But it still looks too big, like gigantic. Ideally, has to be end. Yes, we have to end somewhere in here. This is the closest point, or the furthest point for this. Again. Oh, in addition to sleep, I actually now want to eat. I want to eat. My belly is talking to me. He's saying, he's alive. He's a living being. This is horrible. Again, like it's like I'm trying to reflect this one, but the problem is it looks completely different. It's like I need to get rid of this one. So yeah, let's just do not distract me. Yeah, let's just do this. We can erase it anytime. That way is definitely not going to distract me, because it's definitely preventing me from drawing it right in. So let's just draw it from imagination, how I'm imagining it, because... Oh, and now I actually don't remember how it looks. Yep. Oh, wait a minute. This side is actually this side. Yes, yes. So, it actually in here. More. I could draw like a regular boot, and it looks fine. But it's not the same as this one, of course. So... And of course, it's not tilted like this, it's actually more like... No. This is too extreme angle. We're not going to see that much. It's like it completely covers everything. Crocodile. Or the dinosaur, I don't know. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. And then this one goes here. Yeah, I will leave it something like this, because, again, this is too hard of an angle for me to handle. There's a bunch of strange things about it that I can't grasp myself. I think if I would, like, fresh in mind and actually slept and rest, maybe I would, like, figure out something. But now, I'm kind of tuned out. My brain is just... don't want to function around this thing properly. It's like it tells me, go to sleep, man. But it's early. I'm not even get a dinner. Yeah, let's just make a bird. Or a duck. Ugly duck. Whew. I believe that adding this thing is everything will change after this. Nothing changed. Suggestions. What am I doing wrong? Like maybe this thing is actually, oh yeah, it actually draw it a little bit tilted. So it kind of needs to be, oh no, this form looks broken. I need to go with flat one. Maybe suggest something like this. Not go too far from it. Medium. So I guess this is like the best way that I could depict it. It still looks horrible, but the only thing, it needs to be smaller. It's too big. Of course, that means that this one has to be smaller too. No, it looks even worse. What's happening? Okay, let's just leave it at this, because no, my brain is not working now to figure out how this works. Because, like, again, this is too unfamiliar form for me. So it's just basically designed, and it's pretty complex. So for instance, if I will try to find a way how these planes and where these planes are directed, even this is going to be pretty hard, because like I can understand where these planes are directed, but still there's too much of the plane changes or direction changes, and because there's a bunch of changes, it's pretty hard for me to right away figure out how they are actually, where they're facing. And again, like the confusion about this angle and this angle, combining them right here, it's pretty stressful to mind. Your mind is just wants things a little bit easier. Just stupidly repeat what we already have. Let's call it even. Oh yeah, it's far from reality, but still, again, and the cool thing, not the cool thing, but the thing is that I think this thing is actually tilted, and because it's tilted, it's pretty hard for me to shortcut it. So if it was just like straight, but it's not, it's tilted, and what should I say, not tilted but curved. yeah, curved. Because this is, and because of this curvature, it can create crazy thing. So yeah, I guess on that note I will slowly finish. So like in 8 minutes, I guess, yeah, I will definitely finish. So yeah, at least I kinda came to a particular result. It's better than nothing, as I said. It would be much cooler if we would add these plates. I don't think that they're necessarily going to look good in here, because adding these plates are definitely, again, this plate is really small. This plate is basically facing this one. It's pretty big. Right here it appears small, but it's pretty big. Where are plates? Oh, it looks so stupid, like when it's too big. It's like we need to actually divide it. Yeah, we definitely need to divide it. Division. And one is going to be here. I just kind of goes in here and down here. They not necessarily look good from the top, but still, or from side, but. Oh, we're not going to see it that much. Yeah, it actually not going to be visible at all. Not visible at all, not visible at all. Okay, this thing is smaller. Oh no. So yes, erase them. Yeah, I kinda don't like how they look. Yeah, let's just get rid of them. Prepare and delete this layer. Also, I don't want to give up on this light though. I want to make it better. Oh, we already streaming like 3 hours. Actually wanted to stream about 2, but again, when you have a problem, you need to solve it. It's pretty hard to just stop. Usually just go until you solve it. Oh. Oh. That's the thing. That's the thing that makes it a little bit cooler. Much cooler. Make. Yeah, but now it actually looks not that bad. Still out of shape. Seemed like this thing is too big. We could make it smaller. But kinda works. yeah, pretty cool, pretty cool, pretty cool. Finally, after a like first hour I was just like warm mapping, so I did this thing like in 2 hours. Seriously? Come on. Yeah, it took me a long time. I probably did this one and this one much faster, because again they were pretty much easier to do. This thing is crazy complex. Crazy complex. So yeah, I will finish on that note. This is definitely the end. So again, see you again. Oh no, actually, I don't know. Definitely not in a half hour. So yeah, in a couple of hours, maybe 2 or 3, I will definitely stream Magic. About an hour. So yeah, but until then, like this creative session, we'll just end it. And thank you for watching, thank you for being here, and I guess see you in the next creative session, which is planned on Monday. But again, if I will like manage to work on weekends, that I probably create like non-stream recordings and then just upload them on Twitch. But I will think about that. So peace out. Like, see you in the next session. Bye bye.